Anyone? Please help!
Executing hold-up procedure. Drop everything you got, friend. Nice and easy. This is a stick-up.
Not sure if I should be thrilled or terrified.
Don't worry about... Hello, Russell Dorsey, Brotherhood Initiate. Welcome to Fort Atlas.
Maybe I should join up. You know, fight the bad guys. Do some good for once. Make a difference.
Of course. What you want to know? Oh, it's an honor. I know that sounds like some recruiting poster nonsense, but really, it is. I finally feel like I'm part of something meaningful. Building a better world alongside other people who've committed their lives to that cause. Sure, sometimes it means doing guard shifts in the rain, but hey, small price to pay for real purpose, right? The Brotherhood of Steel is a... well, I guess you'd call it a military organization. Founded originally out in California around when the bombs fell. We're dedicated to rebuilding society and preserving old technology. Keeping the mistakes of the past from being repeated, you know? One of the members from California could tell you more, I'm sure.
See the world while you're at it.
Pretty sure that's strategic information I'm not supposed to just give out to anybody that asks.
I'm joining the Brotherhood. Whatever it takes.
What do you need? Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
Can we really trust them?
Scientist soldier. I don't like the sound of that. Anyone who walked the whole length of the country just to get here has earned my attention.
I have real duties to attend to. The outer perimeter is still insecure, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting civilians.
Your duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted. But this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean no harm.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you worship.
Paladin.
All this concrete, places like a tomb. Fortification absent. Flushed.
Raiders causing trouble again. We'll have to do something about that.
Military grade hardware. Ain't no kind of life wrapped up in metal.
Each day in service of the Brotherhood is a step forward.
Make it quick if you would. My bones ain't getting any younger.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future.
Civilian,
You need
if
to
you're here
understand
with a request for the
this
Brotherhood,
or
get in
make the
line.
same mistakes going
I don't
forward.
have time for you right now.
Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. Lord.
We're all links in the chain.
That was a Brotherhood matter, civilian, and none of your concern. You're trying my patience, so get on with it. Knight Daniel Shin, Brotherhood of Steel, 1st Expeditionary Force. We've got important work to do here, so get to the point.
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
Did he? Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary.
Local recruits need help if underfed.
That is within the scope of Paladin Romani's directives. It takes more than just asking, of course. You would have to prove yourself. If you are sincere about wishing to join our ranks, you would have to earn the approval of the officers here, including me. Is that why you're here? Another hopeful dreaming of service to the Brotherhood.
The recruits, night shoots, training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible.
If you mean that, then you are right. But if that's sarcasm, I recommend you stow it. Immediately. Normally, I'd stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the Order and demonstrate your
Hope I'll get to
qualities
meet
as a
them in
candidate.
person someday.
We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas, asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me. Do this right. Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate.
All this concrete, places like a tomb.
I gave you a job to do. Unless you're done, get to it.
Well, now look at you. You with these steel brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them. Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on them. Name's Art Knapp. So, what's this Knight fella sent you for?
We should spend less time mourning for
A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make them raiders too. Well, I ain't got much, and I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much. I got some extra. I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. Heard a lot of noise they was on our side.
I want it.
So, seems fair. Fair enough. Can't expect more than that. Thank you. You take care too.
No meat. Approved. A perfectly preserved pie with every dinner declined. And this ration request doesn't even have a name on it.
The California
Something I
members
can
show
do
no
for
signs
you.
of... Yes? Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers.
Hope this not's true to their word.
The severe gentleman in the power armor, yes? Dr. Edgar Blackburn at your service. And what did Knight Shin want to know? I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own. Thank you. Be well. Did you wish to speak with me?
Hey! Yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here?
If I don't sleep,
You know,
I should be
about the
able to get this
guns.
done.
You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lane. What's your deal? Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot.
I need to remind Scribe Valdez to
Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there.
throwing nukes left and right.
Hey, I get it. Promises backfire all the time. Well, go get him, Tiger.
I imagine the Brotherhood would object to a collection of blood samples from all its members. Shame.
All this concrete, place is like a tomb. Something I can do for you.
Stop holding down the fort. When do I get to go out and...
You better have something useful to say to me. Oh, can't even come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right. Keep it cool, Sean. So, what's he got to say to me?
Order. Learning. Protection.
The problem
Have everything I
is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, oh,
Arrived in Appalachian
I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way. At least they don't pretend to be the good guys.
Got to be getting back to the farm soon.
Hey, thanks. I just needed someone to listen and take me seriously.
What the heck does ad Victorium even mean?
I hope you can convince them.
Keep fighting out there. We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew.
This place goes sour and we're all in for it.
Do not attempt. Have you finished the task I gave you? Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview. The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests, unless the Doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing. That shows commendable discipline. Scribe Valdez may have interest if he returns, but if so, he is her problem. That appears to resolve the matter on our end. Next report.
The California members show no signs of infectious.
We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment. I agree. It's bad tactics to involve ourselves in outside disputes. We have enough to do here. Enough about that. What's next? No. We are not arms dealers. There was never any circumstance in which I would authorize weapons to that woman. But your vigilance is noted. Moving on. Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us. That sounds like something Paladin Romani would say. But what he believes is of no concern of ours. Our people did not rob this man. We are not involved, and it should remain that way. That's everything. Against my initial judgment, you have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Romani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment and grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Romani's attention. Be vigilant, outsider.
The Scorched, the Raiders, the Ghouls. If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
This is a secure area. Treat it as such.
I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down a fort. When do I get to go out and prove my worth?
Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here?
Everything makes sense now. This is my place, my mission.
Oh, a prospective initiate. The Night Shin sent you. And I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Romani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Didn't even have to think about it, did you? Let me give you a quick rundown of the mission before we start. Our new base is littered with old technology. But there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup. Any questions before we start?
New recruits, Night Shin's training, weapons, and a base
Great!
like this.
Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit.
At Victoria.
Protect and serve.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Oh, you've read a lot of terminal entries then. Really? Then your research acumen must rival my own. And how did you like reading all those terminal entries? Just all right. How anticlimactic. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. I'm glad you agreed to come along. All I get as a scribe is this stinky pistol. Hardly a match for any mutant critters that sneak in. Here's a document. This looks like what we need. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? Oh, I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. That's a mature attitude to take. I really appreciate that. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. I did ask you to help, after all. It's only fair you're prepared for what you might find. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've got company. We survived. Interesting. That's the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Oh, misaligned. Next, we have the release valve. That went Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well so far. Nobody does, outside of a classroom. That's why I love to evaluate new prospects this way. If I'm going to recommend you to Paladin Romani, I need to know you're serious. Can you pay attention? Think on your feet? If you can, you are in my favor. If you can't, then, well, maybe I reconsider my recommendation. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle. I'm sure. You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or... Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core. What's that? That doesn't sound good.
Close one.
Whew. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. Oh, I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my rec may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help. And good luck with the Paladin.
Fort Atlas is in good hands. Night Shin's trained as well.
If I don't sleep tonight,
You must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Romani. What do you need? It takes more than hope to join the Brotherhood. Night Shin has spoken in your favor, but you'd also need Scribe Valdez's approval for me to consider your candidacy. Well, between this and the report I have from Night Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks? With the recommendations of Night Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region,